As we begin the second half of this presentation, you may be anticipating a change in your employment with the state. Whether you are contemplating a new position in your current organization, a transfer to another state agency, or a career change to a non-state government entity, we'd like to share some information specific to state employment that may be helpful to you. First, we'd like to talk about the human side of change. Often change, whether you control the change or not, can cause stress, anxiety, and nervousness. If ever you are in a situation that is causing you stress, we want you to know that your state benefits include access to resources to help you. The Ohio Employee Assistance Program is available to assist you. They are just a phone call away, and they are there to listen and offer you the assistance you may need. This benefit is not only available to you, but also to your family members. Please know that this is a confidential resource. No one needs to know that you have asked for some help. So if you feel like you need someone to talk to, now or in the future, please reach out to the folks at EAP. You can contact the EAP at the phone number and email address shown. Because this presentation is all about providing you with information and resources for a job search now or in the future, we need to also provide you with information about what happens if you transfer to a different job or you leave state employment. If you are an employee who decides to resign or is separated from state service, you will be informed about final payroll information from your agency. The date of a final paycheck is dependent on the date of an employee's separation. Typically, an employee's last paycheck will cover the period worked 2 weeks prior to his or her departure. If you leave in the middle of a pay period, your last paycheck will only include payment for the hours worked during that 2-week period. Any leave balances that are being liquidated may occur on that final paycheck, but it is possible that leave payouts will be issued during the following pay period. This final paycheck will be in the form of a paper check and not direct deposited. If you will be leaving state employment, you are encouraged to work with your agency payroll staff to check on specific dates and final leave payout totals. You will also need to decide to have your final paycheck mailed to you or to pick it up at your agency. Also related to payroll, if you resign or are separated, you will still have access to myohio.gov after separation from state service. Using myohio.gov, you will have access to personal information such as paychecks and W-2s. You will also use myohio.gov to update your mailing address, if applicable, to ensure you receive any paper W-2s or other relevant information that might be distributed by your agency. It is important to keep your mailing address updated with the state through myohio.gov. If you have not logged in to myohio.gov for more than 30 days, you will need to reset your password. To reset your password, please use the self-service password reset option in myohio.gov. If you have trouble, please call the help desk. You will need your State of Ohio employee ID, so keep a record of that information for future use should you need it. If you have an interest in exploring different positions within state government, you can do so at careers.ohio.gov to search for available state jobs. If you end up transitioning into a new position within the state, there is a 31-day window that is important to note. If you are separated but rehired within 31 days from your last day of employment, your service time will continue as if there was no break in service. This means your dental, vision, and life insurance will continue without interruption, and you will not have to work another full year to have those benefits reinstated. If you are separated but not rehired within 31 days, this is considered a break in state service, and you will be considered a newly hired employee. You will have to work 1 full year from your date of rehire to be eligible for dental, vision, and life insurance. If you are an unclassified employee who previously held a classified position, you may be aware of the term fallback rights. This is a statutory right to fall back into a previously held classified position, if you held one, in the event your unclassified position is revoked or you are demoted. However, fallback rights are very fact-specific and require an analysis of your situation by your agency's Human Resources Office to determine eligibility. There are also some situations when you forfeit your rights to resume a position in the classified service. If you believe you have fallback rights and you are being separated, please contact your agency's HR office to discuss your specific situation. As public employees, we are all subject to Ohio's ethics laws, which also impact us after we separate from state service. If you are leaving state service, the revolving door provision of the Ohio ethics laws prohibits public employees from representing any person or client on any matter in which he or she personally participated as a public servant before another public agency for 1 year after separation. Representation generally includes any formal or informal appearance before or any written communication with any public agency. A public agency includes but is not limited to any state entity, the General Assembly, or any county or municipality. Personal participation includes decisions, approval, disapproval, recommendations, the rendering of advice, investigation, or any other substantial exercise of administrative discretion. Also, it should be noted that if you supervise other public servants, you have personally participated in any matters on which you supervised them. The revolving door provision is important and should be discussed with your agency legal counsel or directly with the Ohio Ethics Commission if you have questions after leaving state employment. Additionally, the law generally prohibits you from seeking employment from any person, agency, organization, or company that has these relationships with a public agency, doing or seeking to do business with it, regulated by it, or interested in matters before it. However, if you are seeking outside employment, you may be able to seek employment from these persons if you are able to and do withdraw completely from any matter involving the party from whom you are seeking a job. To effectively withdraw, you must inform your supervisor and the agency attorney of your job seeking activity, such as submitting your resume or application or discussing your candidacy for a position. Again, if you have any questions about your specific situation, please consult your agency legal counsel or the Ohio Ethics Commission. Now that you know what you cannot do, here are a few activities that are not prohibited. Assisting your former public agency, discussing or sharing non-confidential information with your new colleagues, or engaging in ministerial activities on matters in which you personally participated. Let's recap the Ohio ethics law. The laws can be complicated, and the application of the law is fact-specific and based on your personal set of circumstances. It is always in your best interest to engage an agency attorney or the Ohio Ethics Commission for advice on the areas of the law we just discussed. You can contact the Commission at the phone number and email address shown. For those of you involved in lobbying activities, if you leave your current state position for a new position, either public or private sector, you are required to file with the Joint Legislative Ethics Committee, JLEC, for the time you proactively lobbied. The reporting periods are shown here and can always be found on the JLEC website. All registered lobbyists are required to renew their lobbying registration between December 1st and January 15th if they plan to continue lobbying. In addition, if you are separating from your job, you must also terminate your lobbying registration by notifying JLEC. For questions specific to lobbying activity filings, please reach out to your agency legal counsel or JLEC. For those who are financial disclosure statement filers, you are required to file a statement by May 15th for the prior calendar year. Even if you leave state service, you are required to file for any portion of the prior year that you worked for the state in a position requiring filing. You have the option of filing a paper or an electronic form. Please make sure your personal information, including your mailing address, is updated in myohio.gov to receive the paper form from your former agency. You may file electronically at JLEC's filing website. Your agency will pay your filing fee, but will not pay a late fee. You will be responsible for paying any late fee. Even if you are not reminded to submit your filing, you are responsible for filing on time. As a financial disclosure filer, you also have an obligation to file a post-employment disclosure form with the Ohio Legislative Inspector General upon separation from state service. Additionally, if you receive income from any qualifying source following your separation from state service, you may be required to submit an updated post-employment disclosure statement. Qualifying sources include an executive agency lobbyist or a legislative agent, an employer of an executive agency or lobbyist or legislative agent that is not a state agency or political subdivision, or any entity that during the 2 immediately preceding years was awarded a contract or contracts from a state agency or agencies worth an aggregate value of at least $100,000. Again, this area of the law can be complex. We encourage you to seek advice from your agency legal counsel, the Office of the Legislative Inspector General, or the Ohio Ethics Commission. Contact information for both organizations is provided here. Let's now switch gears and talk about benefits and what you need to know if you separate from state service. If you are currently enrolled in health care coverage through the state plan, your last day of coverage if you leave state service will be the last day of the month in which you separate from state service. For example, if your last day of state service is the 3rd day of the month with 31 days in the month, your last day of coverage will be the 31st. If, however, you separate on the 31st, your last day of coverage will also be the 31st. Through COBRA, you can continue your benefits for up to 18 months from your date of separation by personally paying for coverage. This applies to medical, vision, and dental benefits. To continue coverage, you will have to pay both your share and the employer's share of the premium cost, plus a 2% administrative fee. The current costs for continuation of healthcare benefits through COBRA are available from your agency Human Resources Office. You will receive COBRA information in the mail if you separate from state service. You will have 60 days from your last day of coverage or from the date of the COBRA notification, whichever is later, to elect to continue your coverage. If you currently have life or supplemental life insurance, you can convert your policy into a whole life insurance policy through Minnesota Life within 45 days of separation. You will not be required to submit evidence of medical insurability. Additionally, you may decrease your plan level at the time of continuation, but cannot increase it. If you choose to continue the policy, you will be responsible for all premiums. For those of you who utilize the state's flexible spending accounts, open enrollment for the calendar year benefit typically occurs in October. If you terminate employment or retire, you may be able to continue your healthcare flexible spending account benefits under COBRA. Please note that COBRA is not available for the Dependent Care Flexible Spending Account. If you are not eligible for or do not enroll in COBRA, your flexible spending accounts will terminate at the end of the month in which the separation occurred. You will have 90 days to file claims incurred while your account was active. Unclaimed flexible spending account funds will be forfeited, so consider your situation carefully before signing up for the coming calendar year if you think you may be leaving state service early in the year. If you have a Commuter Choice account, you will need to cancel your account by the 5th of the month prior to your separation. Once funds are taken by Commuter Choice, they cannot be reimbursed per the IRS code. If you have any questions about the benefits information presented, please contact COBRA, Minnesota Life, or the Flexible Spending and Commuter Choice Accounts representatives. Contact information is provided here. Moving on to leave conversion. With sick leave conversion, active employees are permitted to convert sick leave to cash every November. This is applicable for all employees, not just those separating. For separating employees, sick leave can be converted to cash at 50% of your base rate of pay, or 55% if you are retiring. You also have the option to maintain your sick leave balance and decide within 3 years from your date of separation if you would like to convert it to cash. This 3-year window is closed if you return to state service. At that point, you cannot convert sick leave to cash until separating from state service again. For those of you with old sick leave in your balances, which is sick leave that was transferred from another entity, old sick leave cannot be converted to cash upon separation. If a future employer accepts your old sick leave balance, it may be transferred with the employee. Personal leave balances can be converted at 100% of the employee's base rate of pay in November or upon separation from state service. If you separate from state service following the December leave conversion, you will not be entitled to convert the entire 32 hours of personal leave to cash. Instead, those hours will be prorated per pay period of employment. In the event you have used more hours than earned, the money will be deducted from your check to make the state whole. Also, at the time of separation, you are entitled to compensation for all unused vacation leave at 100% of your current rate of pay. However, compensatory time is not eligible for cash conversion for overtime exempt employees, and all balances expire upon separation. For those of you who may be considering retirement soon or who just want more information about your OPERS account, we encourage you to contact OPERS directly. OPERS offers one-on-one appointments to discuss your personal situation, and it also offers numerous workshops throughout the year. Visit the OPERS website or call to schedule an appointment. Lastly, if you are currently enrolled in the Ohio Deferred Compensation Plan and you have questions about your account in general or post-separation, we encourage you to reach out to a representative at Ohio Deferred Compensation at the contact information provided here. We've covered a lot of information during this presentation. We, at the Ohio Department of Administrative Services and Dawson, our partner for this presentation, hope that you discovered useful information that you can use if and when you embark on a job search, whether that time is now or in the future. For additional information, please visit das.ohio.gov/career transition. As we conclude, we'd like to remind you to seek additional information and guidance from your Human Resources Office, your agency legal counsel, or the legal entities discussed in this presentation. We appreciate having you in service to the state, and we wish you well wherever your career might take you. Thank you.